The world is in recession. Markets are down no matter stocks, bonds, or crypto. The oil price has increased, euro is down, yen is down, inflation is rising in great figures. In short, you can say the world is collapsing right now. But there are some strategies through which you can benefit. There are a lot of sectors still available for investment, but the only thing you need to do is find a perfect time and strategy to get in. And if you want to find out all about it, like how you can benefit from the worldwide crisis, then stick to the video until the end, because we're going to reveal everything about Robert Kiyosaki, Warren Buffett, Michael Burry, and his strategies to benefit from the crisis. Before we get into it, let me welcome you guys to the very first video on my channel, Crypto Money Talk. Do remember that anything in this video is not my financial advice, but this is just for education and information. So, without any further delay, let's begin with what is Michael Burry, along with some other famous market experts, is predicting another huge crash. Jeremy Grantham and Michael Burry are preparing for a devastating crash in all financial markets. They're not only the only experts to issue a warning that asset prices cannot be sustained indefinitely by rampant speculation fueled by government stimulus programs. The warning has also been issued by billionaire investors Leon Cooperman, Stanley Druckenmiller, and Jeffrey Gundlach. The same is true for Robert Kiyosaki, Kevin O'Leary, Gary Schilling, and other rich dad poor dad authors and celebrities. Speaking specifically about Michael Burry, he claimed that the markets were in the midst of the greatest speculative bubble of all time in all things in June 2021, and claimed that retail investors were succumbing to the hype surrounding meme stocks and cryptocurrencies before the mother of all crashes. Additionally, Jeremy Grantham referred to the market as the real McCoy and called it a fully fledged epic bubble in January 2021. He contends that once you reach this level of overt super enthusiasm, the bubble always bursts within the following few months, not a few years. After that, Leon Cooperman also talked about this and further expressed his grave worries about the financial markets in May 2021. The billionaire investor and head of Omega Advisors said, "Everything I look at would suggest caution, intermediate to long term, would be the rule of the day. When this market has a reason to decline, it will decline so quickly that it will make your head spin." So you know there should be a huge thing coming out when so many investors and billionaires are saying the same thing from last year, but nobody listened to them and ignored them. Who can stop storms? So they've already arrived, and now the situation is to survive them. But how? If you want to learn all about this answer, then stick to the video until the end. Talking about Robert, and given his pessimistic outlook, it's no surprise that Kiyosaki mostly favors safe haven assets, such as gold and silver, as he believes that precious metals, unlike fiat money, cannot be printed out of thin air. And they've been helping investors preserve purchasing power for centuries. The price of gold has risen by about 8% year to date. The Russian invasion of Ukraine has given investors yet another reason to look into the yellow metal. While Kiyosaki owns gold, which he first purchased in 1972, he prefers silver in today's economic environment. Additionally, Kiyosaki revealed in a tweet that he had purchased 2,500 American Silver Eagle bullion coins and explained why he did so. As per his tweet, gold has already moved up and Bitcoin is still too expensive. Silver is 50% lower than its all-time high, and silver is both an industrial metal and a currency. And like others, he also believes that all bubbles eventually burst, and when they do, many people's wealth suffers significantly. But these large drops, on the other hand, create opportunities for those willing to buy the dip. As a result, Kiyosaki claims that the good thing about a bubble is that when it bursts, everything goes on sale. As the author began, buying real estate at bargain prices during the 2008 financial crisis. Based on how much real estate has risen since then, it's safe to say that was a significant shift. Now, we hope things are quite clear to you that Kiyosaki believes that sooner or later, we are going into every major crisis, and the best ones will be those who will have their wealth saved for that time to buy the best things. And this was all about how Robert prepared to survive the crisis. Now, Let's get into what Warren Buffett's strategies are to survive the inflation and the crisis. If you're familiar with Warren Buffett, you probably already know that he has always been adamant that the best course of action is to maintain an investment in stocks. Buffett, the chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, is perhaps best known for his maxim on dip buying. Be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. And given the sharp increase in prices, it's important to review some of Buffett's best recommendations for battling the giant corporate tapeworm he once described. Therefore, his first piece of advice is to invest in reputable companies with modest capital requirements. Like Buffett, who has long supported owning companies that generate significant returns on the capital invested in the company. Additionally, businesses with low capital requirements that can maintain their profits should fare better during periods of inflation than those that must continually make investments at ever-rising costs just to hold on to their position. Second, he suggests looking for businesses that can raise prices when inflation is higher. He thinks that if a company can raise its prices, it has a significant advantage during times of high inflation because it can offset its own rising costs. An unregulated toll bridge would be the ideal asset to own in an inflationary environment, according to a statement made by Warren Buffett. Finally, look at this TIPS. Stands for Treasury Inflation Protected Securities. For investors worried about rising inflation, Buffett also recommends this investment. Although the principal is adjusted for inflation, as determined by the Consumer Price Index, TIPS pays investors a fixed interest rate twice a year. Notably, Buffett has shunned gold, an asset often thought of as being a great inflation hedge. On the other hand, he also doesn't like crypto and has always stated negative remarks about Bitcoin. So, that's the end of the video for today with all the predictions and strategies. And now we hope that all of this information was useful to you, since we did our best to explain everything. If you enjoyed the video or learned something from it, press the like button, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. See you in the next video, and until then, take care and goodbye.